Hey guys, I'm gonna film a short little series just on some practical steps that you can utilize to pretty much hit the ground running, kick off your journey, or either break a plateau, or pretty much wherever you're at, you can implement this straight away to pretty much set yourself on the right track. Okay, so what we're gonna discuss now is the first practical step that you need to take once you figure out what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay, so what I'm gonna go through now assumes that you already know what your goal is, why it's important, and then how you're going to get there. So now we're going to break down what you have to do once you've done that. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is be aware of where you're currently at, like where everything's at the moment, like body composition wise, habit wise, literally everything. So the first thing we're going to break down in the practical sense is that first initial body scan, because this is going to give you all the information that you need to pretty much make that next step. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is doing a body scan. Okay, now we have the Evolt body scanner in the studio, so all you're doing is you're coming in, it takes literally a minute to do. Okay, make a profile, you jump on the body scanner, it'll track pretty much everything you can think of about your body, it'll track. Okay, and it's going to populate in your very own app. Now, when you're looking at your app, you're going to be able to see a bunch of different data, and that's what we break down for you. So we can also see it as well, and what I like to do is send through a bit of a breakdown of where you're at and what we need to focus on depending on what your goal is. But that piece of information there is super important. Okay, so step one, if you've got a checklist going at the moment and you're like, okay, Callum, what do I have to do? The first thing we're doing is that body scan. So you need to make sure you write that down, and that's what we're doing the next time you're in the studio. Okay, so body scan, that's step number one. Okay, now the second thing is that we want to find out what it is that we need to be doing, or how far off the mark are we. Okay, because a lot of times when it comes down to us, hey Callum, I'm struggling to lose weight, or I've got this body fat that I'm trying to shift that it's just not shifting, I'll always ask, where are we at calorie wise, where are we at food wise, like how's that all going? And a lot of times it's, I'm not too sure, I don't know how many calories I'm eating, I don't know this, I don't know that, which is 100% fine. That's what we want to find out, so we know, okay, cool, this is what we have to do to make the changes that you want, so that we can actually get you to achieving that goal. So the next thing is to track everything you're doing. Okay, so we've got our body scan, it'll tell us pretty much all the data we need, and something that I just didn't touch on just then is that on the body scanner, it'll tell you calorie recommendations, like a nutrition breakdown of where, based on what you've selected as your goal, it's going to give you a recommendation on where your calories should be sitting, and then a breakdown of protein, carbs, and fats. Now, the next thing we're doing is seeing where we're actually at in comparison to all of that. So the way that I do this is I download an app called MyFitnessPal, and I spend a week or two tracking everything I put in my mouth. Okay, now this only works if you track everything you put in your mouth. Okay, you can't eat something unhealthy and be like, oh no, I don't need it, I don't need to put that in there. Like everything that you put in your mouth needs to go in there. I'm talking alcohol, I'm talking like oil that you put in the pan. Like it's going to be difficult for the first couple of weeks, because it's like, I'm not used to this, it's different, it's changed. But I'm telling you right now, if you can track this data, it's going to give you like the best chance of success, because you're going to know exactly where you're at. Okay, so you spend a week on MyFitnessPal or a calorie tracking app, inputting everything that you put into your mouth. Okay, and then after 2 weeks, we literally compare the two there. So we look at your body scan where it says calorie recommendations, and then MyFitnessPal looking at where you're actually at during the week, and then we break it down and look at the discrepancies. And a lot of times we're either eating way under the mark, so that we're not moving anything and our metabolism hates us, or two, we're eating healthy enough, but we're just eating way too much, like way too many calories of that healthy food. Okay, and once we look at the two, we can be like, okay, cool, let's change a few things here, and let's try that. Like, that is the first practical step, because that's going to at least give you the foundations for the rest of your journey, basically. But if you don't know where you're at currently, then you're flying blind, because you're like, hey, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to build muscle, I'm trying to tone up. But if you don't know, say, how many calories your body should be eating, or what it is that you're actually currently doing, you're never going to know whether or not you're on progress. Whether or not you're on track to making that progress. So Those are the two things that I think are so important. And once you get a better understanding of where your body scan is at and where your actual calories are at, you can then break it down further. Okay, that's literally just surface level stuff, but knowing those two pieces of information is so valuable, because from there, you can then build the next steps on what we need to do to achieve our goal, okay? And that's what we're gonna dive into next.